The good old hot take. The necessary evil of the sports world. Through the good ones, the bad ones, and the downright atrocious ones, we once again find ourselves racking our brains trying to figure out how some people come up with this nonsense. But today, I've done the brain racking for you and found some of the hottest NBA takes on the internet. So, buckle up. This may be a bumpy ride. Today's sponsor is Rocket Money, formerly Truebill. Have you ever checked your bank account and were shocked to see your money had vanished? It wasn't stolen or anything, you just spent it all. Unwanted and unused subscriptions, bills that keep creeping up, and a budget you just can't seem to stick to. Things are expensive these days, and that's why Rocket Money is here to help. The all-in-one financial platform that helps you save more and spend less. Rocket Money is a financial app that allows you to manage subscriptions, lower bills, build a custom budget, and grow your savings all in one place. I've actually been using Rocket Money for years now, and once you get it set up, it's remarkable just how easy you'll start saving money and building a healthier financial portfolio. I was able to quickly identify and cancel unwanted subscriptions, things that I didn't even know I was paying for. I set a budget and used their monitoring features to stick to it. Rocket Money even has a feature that allows you to upload your bills, and with a simple click of a button, they will negotiate the cost of your bills for you. From internet service bills to cable and phone bills, Rocket Money and their tools have been a game changer for me. Take control of your finances and join 3.4 million members using Rocket Money to save more and spend less. Go to rocketmoney.com/Jimmy High Roller or click on the link in the description to get started for free or enjoy more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Jimmy High Roller to get started for free today. It's been a couple months since our last edition of NBA Hot Takes, so despite my head still reeling from our last batch, we've got some new scorchers to take a look at. You'd think I'd know better than to peer into the cold, soulless abyss of casual NBA fandom by now, but I'm sick. I can't help myself, and I've got nothing better to do, so here we are. Our first take is one that's been floating around lately, and as a LeBron stan, it's really got me revved up. And the take here is that LeBron James has no bag. LeBron James, the 6'9" ambidextrous jack of all trades with over 37,000 points, has no bag. Of all the basketball takes I've had the displeasure of coming across, this might just be the worst I've ever laid eyes on. In basketball, the word bag can mean different things to different people. So does having a bag mean being able to get a bucket from anywhere on the court? Like this?
Throws up the floater!
Or this?
5. Nice fake by James. Oh, he stops!
Or this?
And Trent. LeBron, a crossover dribble.
Or maybe having a bag means having the skills to break down a defender at any moment. Like this.
LeBron leading his way.
Or this.
LeBron using that left hand off the bounce.
Whoa.
Inside!
No, wait. I've got it. Maybe having a bag means a player can piece together moves and put together a combo that can get him a bucket at will. Like this right here.
Look, trying to defend LeBron. Spin move!
Or even this.
LeBron James with 4 on the shot clock, twisting and turn.
I feel crazy for even needing to say this, but LeBron James has a bag. I think the problem here is that for some people, having a bag isn't about how many things you're capable of doing on the court, but rather how you look when you do it. For example, take a player like Jordan Poole or Jordan Clarkson or Damian Lillard. These are all players who everyone will agree have deep bags. But aside from a flashy handle and how they choose to get to their spots, there's not one thing these players can do that LeBron can't. Now sure, LeBron can't put together a combo like this, but getting into your bag can also look like this. I get it. LeBron has always relied heavily on his strength and athleticism. He plays stiff and robotic. It doesn't look pretty most of the time. Instead of shaking his defender and using pure skill to get a bucket, he'd rather put his head down and go through a defender, or just look down at the ball before hitting the grossest 30-footer you've ever seen in your life. But LeBron does, in fact, have a bag. You don't just stumble upon 37,000 points as a perimeter player without having a full arsenal of moves to deploy. He's got a post game. He's got his patented turnaround baseline jumper. He can take you off the dribble and finish with either hand. He can dribble straight into a pull-up. He can manipulate the pick and roll. He's got a filthy layup package. He can shred a double team. And considering he's a freight train of a human being, he's got a relatively tight handle and Why am I even saying this? He's one of the greatest players of all time. Have we lost our minds? Of all the things a player can do on the court, LeBron can do all of them besides having the ball on a string while putting on a dribbling clinic. But if that's how you define having a bag, then so be it. Doesn't change the fact that this is a bad take. Now, this next take isn't from one fan, but from multiple fans. And the more you look into it, the worse it gets. This fan asked the question, if you had to 1v1 against a NBA player to save your family, who would it be? Now listen up, guys. You never know if this is gonna happen. So the first thing you wanna do in this situation is visit your loved ones. Tell them how much they mean to you. And then say your goodbyes. Because brother, they're all goners. There is no one in the entire NBA that 99.99% of us are going to beat one-on-one. This is a matter of fact. But despite this, the answers to this question would have you believing otherwise. Some people found some pretty clever loopholes to this conundrum, like this guy who picked Kawhi Leonard because he wouldn't show up due to load management. And this is true. This guy picked Kyrie Irving, but he has to get vaccinated to participate. This fan said Anthony Davis because he'd get injured 2 minutes into the game. But I hate to break it to you, Anthony Davis would still skunk all of us on a torn ACL. Now here's a fan with some sense. He says, no matter who I pick, there's absolutely no shot I'm winning. But if I had to choose a player where I have the best statistical chance of winning, I'm gonna have to go with LeBron. You know what? Stop. Let's see some real answers, like this fan, who says he could beat Draymond Green one-on-one. And to that, I say, no. You're not beating a 6'7", 240-pound future Hall of Famer. The man scored 32 points and hit 6 threes in Game 7 of the finals. Draymond is going to take your lunch and watch as you wave your family goodbye. This guy says give me Grant Williams, and apparently he's gonna lock him down. No, you're not. Grant Williams is 6'6", 240 with a strap. He's scoring 15 straight on you in street clothes. Now, the most popular answer was pretty much any historically short player. Isaiah Thomas, Nate Robinson, Muggsy Bogues, JJ Barea. And again, no. Do y'all realize just how quick and athletic these guys were in their primes? They're going around you, over you. Screw it. They're going under you, and you're not stopping them. You're also not gonna post them up. These guys are built like tree trunks. They're dense. You're not moving them in the post. Try it, and they'll strip you before you even know what happened. Another answer that was really popular was, unironically, Ben Simmons because he can't shoot. Guys, Ben Simmons is 6'10" with a 40-inch vert. He doesn't need to shoot. He's going through your chest and packing it every single time. Kendrick Perkins? Stop. He was 6'10", 270, and the last time we saw him play normal people was in high school, where he averaged 27, 16, and 8 a game. It's not happening. No, 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 not a shot. Nope, nope, stop it, no. There's really only one correct answer to this question, and it's this one. Now, this next take comes from a fan who says we need to stop comparing Luka Doncic to guys like Larry Bird and LeBron James, and that he's far more similar to James Harden. Now, this is a really good take, because as much as people were hesitant to make the comparison a couple seasons ago, Luka's game has become eerily similar to Harden the more time that passes. Their unorthodox ball handling that looks herky-jerky but catches defenders off guard every single time, the way they can dissect the defense from the inside out with their elite playmaking, the way they use their larger frames to pin defenders in weird positions and exploit mismatch opportunities, the way they lull the defense to sleep with 102 dribbles before initiating the offense, but have mastered when to attack and when to set up for teammates. Their change of speed and direction when they're getting to their spots makes them impossible to guard, since you literally have no idea what they're gonna do next. And of course, the completely unguardable step-back threes. Luka's game is strikingly similar to peak James Harden's. In fact, if we take a look at Luka's numbers, play style, and effectiveness over the last 4 seasons and compare them to James Harden from 2016 to 2019, you'll see that across the board, Luka has virtually become James Harden 2.0. From their usage, to their volume scoring, to how often they pass the ball and where they pass it, even down to the effectiveness of their play style. The only difference between peak Harden and current Luka is where they choose to operate. Harden scored most of his points either right at the rim, from the three-point line, or the free throw line, whereas Luka has a higher tendency to get right into the middle of the defense and operate from the mid-range. So if Luca is just the latest iteration of peak Harden, then why are we so infatuated with him and his playstyle just a few seasons after crucifying Harden for an extremely similar playstyle? Well, because of this. In the playoffs, Luca's numbers go through the roof. But Harden's numbers and effectiveness take a dip in the playoffs. The fact that Harden relied so heavily on free throws and three-pointers to generate his points meant teams had an easier time slowing him down over the course of a 7-game series. If you can manage to mitigate his long ball and prevent falling for his foul baiting, you can drastically alter his impact on a game-to-game basis. But because Luca operates on all three levels, the post, mid-range, and outside, his game is a lot harder to predict and reduce. Luca also embraces the challenge of the postseason. I'll tell you what, that man does not shy away from a big moment. Despite Luca's insane usage, the fact that he gets even better in the playoffs is the main distinguishing factor that grants him love and admiration from the same fans that would scoff at James Harden's antics the moments he would fall apart in a playoff series. So if we're going to compare Luca to someone, I agree with this take. Peak James Harden is the closest thing that we see in Luca today. This is a really good take. Now our last take is gonna sound like a scorcher at first, but just stick with me here. This fan says that Michael Jordan is the only guard in NBA history he's taking over Steph Curry. And me personally, I agree. The only guard, both point guards and shooting guards, that I would take over Stephen Curry in some all-time draft would be Michael Jordan. Because really, there's only a few options that are even worth considering here. So let's take a look at who those options are. Amongst the greatest guards in NBA history, you've got Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson, Dwayne Wade, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, Allen Iverson, Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Jerry West, James Harden, and of course, Steph Curry. I think most fans would consider these players the greatest guards of all time. But as incredible as all these players are, it's pretty clear that there's two distinct tiers of players here. You've got MJ, Kobe, Magic, and Steph, and then everyone else. So right off the bat, we can narrow it down to these three options. We already established that MJ's getting picked first in any scenario. I mean, you could ask me who I'd pick to run center on my all-time team, and I'm still picking Mike, which narrows our options down to Kobe and Magic. Now, I have Kobe ahead of Steph all time, and I think he was a better all-around player. But in terms of just picking a player, I can get one guy. I need a player whose game can gel within any system, under any circumstance. As great as Kobe was, I think his game was more polarizing than Steph's is. His cutthroat mindset and larger-than-life ego made him a legend, but it also put his team into some tough spots on many occasions. Steph has never developed some of these bad tendencies, and it's made him one of the greatest teammates in NBA history. So that leaves us with Magic. Now, I get that it's trendy to clown on Magic's skill set through the lens of 2022 and pick apart some of his deficiencies. It's really easy to say that a man didn't have a jump shot now that we've seen basketball evolve for the last 30 years. But Magic was, and still is, the point god. There's a reason why the man won 5 championships in 13 seasons. And just like Kobe, I have Magic above Steph all time, and I still think he's the greatest point guard to ever touch a basketball. But I'm sorry, I'm still picking Steph. What Steph lacks in size and defense compared to Magic, he makes up tenfold in shooting and spacing and versatility on offense. He makes everyone's job so much easier by just being on the court, and his shooting and shot creation is so absurd that he's virtually a walking cheat code. If a great guard is the match who lights an offensive fire, then Steph Curry is a blowtorch and a gallon of gasoline ready to scorch anything in its path. So yes, Michael Jordan is the only guard in NBA history I would take over Steph Curry. And unfortunately, that's all the racking my brain can handle in one sitting. But before I let this go, if you had to 1v1 a NBA player to save your family, who would it be? Leave a comment below with your answer, and as usual, the hotter the take, the better. Or worse. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.